Hello everybody, this is the recap of today's Bund session on Wednesday the 17th of July 2019. Let's see my hypos first. I said that hypo number 1, the best pullback level for the now distribution above yesterday value is the 172.62. This is the pullback level for like range character before re-entering the lower distribution, so staying within the pre-market distribution here. Or if there is strength value built above 172.76 with again absorption and holding structure, then we look for the long trend continuation. Hypo number 2 is range long at the 172.52. That means if the market going through the yesterday distribution, going through it, then at the 52 level, this would be, if there's responsive buying, the range long through this range here. And the hypo number 3 would be if they can't hold this range, so if there is no responsive buying, then below 52 value would mean a short. But I wouldn't take on this trade because I would expect early support, more scalping due to bad risk reward, because low here, below the 52, there's some minor POC and some rotation, some pivot. So I'm not gonna take on this trade. What happens? The market started here and you see already the range long in the, I have to go a little bit back to see it here. You see this was the range that was built in the pre-market with a distribution. And I said that if we come back to the range value edge, high volume edge at the 62, this is the best pullback level for the long, staying within the pre-market and overnight distribution. Makes sense, yeah? Okay, it was already played like yesterday before the open, so I wasn't into this trade. But they played through the whole range and then built value above the 76 area. This is what I wanted to see because this was the distribution of the morning POC. And let's have a look to this that you can see it as well. So this is why I said below the 76 and they built some value, but the first test of absorption happened here at 9.27. And look what happened. 9.27, they got out some longs, tested with shorts, the level here, the holding structure right now that was at the 76. And look, at this moment, the 76 couldn't hold. This means the liquidity that was taken out, and absorption would mean if even though they take it out first, they refill it and then some buying coming in. But look, at least this is what you have to wait for if you have this conservative approach for me coming into the long play. And then the second delta, see this, the candle still buying, selling pressure. So pull back and then they handled the range back to the other side, which I said I'm not looking in the long market for the range short. Then there was the opportunity, we finally came to this situation here. After they already played it here on this volume edge of the intraday, at the moment intraday value edge, somebody is playing the long here, but they need to get out of their position. And then with a lot of selling pressure, see this here delta, they arrive the zone. That's why I said if they have so much selling pressure into it, I'm not looking for the range long anymore. Only if there is some long holding structure with some proven absorption and buying rejection by buyers. This did not happen because after the first test arriving here at 10 o'clock in 2 minutes at this level, you see the big pressure. Of course, then some people taking their wins going out of the position, but then the second candle was also this here. See this small here, which was this stick on it, but at the moment they pulled pressure to it. So this is no signs and there was no rejection following. See this, the third candle here, they still pushing and pushing and pushing. Then they fallen back into the level from my typo number 2. That said range long at 172.52 with responsive buyers. First, they didn't reach it. Second, I was talking. Third, I didn't take it because I was talking in the stream, but there was the situation where you could have gotten in because we see this little You see this little divergence in delta, and also see that the second attempt to go into the low was rejected as first divergence and then rejected by aggressive more buying. So you could have, if you have a play, and be quick, because they didn't reach, for me, the best risk reward, they didn't reach the low of this edge from the value. You could have come in with a scalping play, seeing this rejection after the second attempt with this kind of double bottom. But then you have to know that there's only small risk reward. That's why I said some short-term scalping with only a 1-to-1. Then I said, if still the hypo number 2 would be the next trade. No, the number 1, if the pullback level along is entered with the 62 area from before distribution. That means pullback level means that there is the strength for the long, and I'm only looking for range longs. And there's my play, what I'm playing from the auction theory. That means if this is the distribution from today and market didn't got deeper than the range and trying to get out of it again and playing searching for prices back in the before auction, and the auction before this auction here was this. Okay, so I said live in the stream we're looking for the range along the re-entry play, and I want to see what there have to happen is that, let's see, the profile at this moment was that there is some level of a low volume node that separates the 65, 66 area from beginning the 67, which would mean the re-enter, and the chance, if re-entering with pullback and holding structure, to get into it and go to the other side to the 72, the at the moment high volume edge. Okay? See this? High volume edge here. Okay, so I waited for this, then market starts to hold, and we build here a holding structure, and also seeing absorption, because they in this time there was not, if you compare this, there was not this huge selling into it, but some guys sell, and the 65, 66 holds. So I got into it at this moment at the 66 level, I think. And then you just had to wait. They tried to push deeper. They couldn't make it. The first time they didn't make it to the 72, and they failed to get above the 71. Then you see now some selling coming, selling. But the selling was absorbed at this moment, and then I got filled with my 72. This was then my only trade I made. The re-entering of the value, then there was some numbers around 11 o'clock, there was this little spike, but you see quick rejection, so this means you're confirmed that they want to stay in this range, and the price is here way too cheap for the market participants, and that's what you see what followed. Then they took on even the whole range, even the lower liquidity sectors around the 76, 77 areas, and yeah, that's it. Till 11 o'clock we made the session. That's the recap from today's Bund, 17th of July, Wednesday. This is Anton Höpfel for Manapa. Thank you for watching.